Good morning. It is morning here. It's 8 o'clock, but we were up at between 4 and 4:30. So we've had coffee. Jim is out helping a neighbor try and track down a deer that he shot with an arrow last night. And so I've kind of changed my menu plan for the day, so I thought I would just bring you along for some of the stuff I'm doing. I'm gonna do my chili today on Wednesday, and we'll have leftovers tomorrow when I work because it just sounded really good today. And I am also baking bread. So I have my yeast blooming. Can I get you so you can see it? Blooming in some warm water with some sugar. And then I will make, it's called Amish white bread. I don't know if it's Amish or not, but it's just a basic white bread, not enriched, just basic. It has yeast, sugar, warm water. It has oil, salt, and flour. And I use bread flour. And it makes 2 loaves. So it's very economical. I need a loaf of bread for church Sunday, so I will put one in the freezer, and then we'll have one to go with chili. I also have another loaf already in the freezer. That had been sitting out for a couple of days, and then I threw it in the freezer, and I'll probably make French toast out of that or something, so I want to have a fresher loaf for church. And who knows, I might be making more bread than on Saturday. But this is getting nice and foamy, and I do not make my white bread in a KitchenAid or a Bosch. I don't own a Bosch. I would like a Bosch, but I don't own a Bosch. I have an old KitchenAid that I did not have until 3-4 years ago. I use this. I use this for making my white bread. I use this for making quick breads. I use this for making English muffin bread. I like English muffin bread. It's very easy. I use this for making my yogurt bagels, my high protein bagels. This is my workhorse tool that I use for baking bread. Sometimes I will use the KitchenAid for doing the kneading and stuff, but this is how I learned. This tool has been invaluable to me. And at this point, I still like doing it all by hand, especially my white bread. Let's see, French baguettes or French bread, I've done that in the mixer, but I've also done it using this. So I don't want you to think that you can't make bread unless you have some fancy equipment. That's not true. It's not true. So, and it's not expensive, and there's no weird stuff in it. It's very simple. So I just thought we would chat. I have a video I want to record later today that I've been about breakfast items from your pantry and recipes for that. But right now I'm just kind of chilling at home and I'm gonna make chili and I'm gonna make bread. And my chili is gonna be just not a set recipe. I know I did my Wendy's chili back for September, which is really good. But this one's gonna have venison and venison sausage in it because that's what I took out to thaw. And I'm gonna, since we got up so early, I'm gonna make some probably bacon and eggs. Our new chickens are giving us eggs. Woo! That just makes me so happy. So I'm ready to add the flour to this. So I just thought, I'm alone here in the house, and I thought I'm gonna have my friends come and keep me company. Sorry, my ring hit the metal bowl. And whenever Jim comes home, I'll have to take a break from filming because I will have to hear the story of how the hunt of the deer went. So this recipe was 2 cups of warm water. I like it between 105 and 110. And then a 1/4 cup of sugar or honey and 4.5 teaspoons of yeast, active dry yeast. That's 2 packs if you buy it by the packs. And if you're new to bread baking, I love the Platinum Red Star yeast. that's how I was able to finally make bread. But now I use this brand usually, Safety yeast, and I keep it in my freezer. And actually, I just got some other yeast. This is Fleischmann's Dry Instant, and I put it right in the freezer. And I always like to bloom my yeast to make sure it is active. So now I have my, let's see, my flour, and I'm gonna kind of fluff it up, and then I'm gonna spoon it into the cups and level it off. And the recipe calls for 5.5, but that's all, it's different for your kitchen, for the weather, different times of year. So I start with 3 because I kind of want to cover up the yeast. Oop, and if you know what, I usually add my oil first. I get talking, then I get off track. My bad. So we want to add 1/4 cup of oil. I'm going to pour it around the edges. This was 2 cups of flour. I'm going to give it a whoosh to get that oil incorporated. Usually I would put the oil in and then start the flour. But hey, things happen, and you can still get the bread to work out. So as you can tell, it needs a lot more flour. So let's get cup number 3 and 4 in. And we need to get the salt. And you don't want to forget the salt. I have before. And it is just bland. It just, I don't know, it just didn't have, you need that little bit of salt. So is anyone else struggling with the time change? Tomorrow's my first day I have to work in the office. So I hope I do okay. So you need 1.5 teaspoons of salt. So this is 1/2 teaspoon. And this is a kosher salt that I'm using. And I try to put it on top of the flour because I read or heard that salt directly on the yeast can kill the yeast. I don't know if that's absolutely true, but just to be safe, that's how I do it. It is supposed to get really cold here. Unfortunately, well, like there's a chance of snow in Michigan next week, Sunday, Monday. And it won't last. I mean, I remember snow on Halloween before. So that's 4 cups. I'm gonna measure out cup number 5. And I'm gonna put about half of it in to start. I'm sure we'll need it all, but you can add, but you can't subtract. So I don't know if you ever look at the community tab on YouTube, but I am doing a thankful, 30 days of thankfulness, and every day posting something that I'm thankful for. And actually one of my viewers, and I'll have her link, I'll try and link her link down below. She has a cat channel for her cats. She told me she was doing it, and I thought, oh, that was a great idea. I'm gonna knead all that You want it to keep stirring it till all that flour gets incorporated and it pulls off the sides of the bowl. It's kind of shaggy right now. I'm gonna put that last bit in. And I'm gonna kind of see how it feels with my hand, how tacky it is. Farm trucks are going by this morning. I think it's sugar beets. Sugar beet harvest is a big deal around here. It's a little sticky, but not too bad. And so I'm going to put some flour in my measuring cup, and when I need it, some of that will be used. So that last half cup I tend to use more when I'm kneading. I'm gonna sprinkle some on top. And I always forget to take my ring off. Okay. And I'm gonna start to knead. You want it to get nice and smooth and elastic. It won't be shaggy anymore. It'll be kind of like velvety. Oh, there's shadows in here this morning, I'm sorry. And see, it's a little tacky, it's sticking to me, so I'm gonna add some more flour. Add a little bit there. And we'll work that in. I think we're good with the flour now. Let's see, can I start to stretch it? It's not quite window pane, so let's work it a little more. Okay, I peeled a little piece off, and you can, I don't know if you can see it here, but it goes thin where you can see light through it. Just gonna get it shaped. Some oil in the bottom of my pan, my bowl, I should say. Spin it around, spin it around, and I'm gonna wash my hands. So I have a cloth I ran under warm water. And I'm gonna set this in the oven and set my timer for an hour. We want it to double. I know in this bowl, it will come like all the way to the top. I'm gonna get this pan heating up, and I'm gonna put about a half a pound of bacon in there. Bacon never goes to waste here. We use it on burgers, we use it on salads if there's leftovers, we use it on a sandwich. I like to put it in different casseroles, and also egg bites. I made some egg bites earlier this week that had bacon and Gouda cheese and chives. And I have a video on how I do them. They were so good. They turn out real velvety, and they have cottage cheese in them, and you give them a whirl. Hello, Missy. There's no veggies. No veggies. So I'm just gonna let the bacon cook and let the bread rise and clean up some of the mess and get ready for what I'm doing next today. I made my cranberry sauce for Thanksgiving. Isn't that usually I do it in little jars because it's just Jim and me, but I wanted the big jar, you know, like the can for Thanksgiving, and I did a 12-ounce. I always want to say 1.5 pints, but no, it's like 3/4 of a pint. But you run a knife around and they slide right out. So, and we like it with other things too, but those are going to go down the pantry shelf, and one thing done for Thanksgiving. I'm trying to work ahead. I did a video on the pecan pie, and I might make one of those and put in the freezer for Thanksgiving too. Get it done ahead of time. But I guess it doesn't really matter because I have that week off work and it's pretty simple to make. And I might even have some of the girls bring desserts. I do have a pumpkin roll in the freezer. I have a friend who makes the most amazing ones. Oh, she makes hundreds of them this time of year. Hundreds! And she has just perfected the recipe. She has certain pan. So I just buy those from her because hers are perfect. So I'm making breakfast. I cracked 2 eggs. Our new chickens are producing well. Bacon's done. I'm cooking myself 2 eggs. I'll wait till Jim gets here and see what he wants. He's been into scrambled lately, so I just want to make sure. He's not as big on breakfast as I am. I love breakfast. My dad loves breakfast. When he was here, he loved to go out for breakfast. So I'm gonna butter my toast, and my eggs are almost done. I'm gonna put a lid on them so that they get done on top. Splash the butter on top and put the lid on. That's how my dad always did it. Okay, I'm just chilling now. This is my favorite chair. It rocks. I'm a rocker. Colors are still pretty there. And I have a cup of coffee with the cinnamon dolce creamer. And I figured out what my next creamer recipe is I figured out my next creamer recipe. It's going to be Italian sweet cream. When I would buy creamer, that was Jim's favorite. If he would always use that one. He's not into so much other flavors, but that's more mild and just sweet. And it has a little bit of almond in it, a little bit of vanilla. So anyway, that's going to be my next one. So I'm just going to enjoy my coffee. I have like 5 minutes until we have to go punch down the bread and put it into pans for the second rise. Okay, out of the oven. Put that in the sink and punch it down. It's such good therapy. I have a spray, you can use spray. And so now we have to divide this into 2. And you can just pat it in the loaf pan, or you can like spread it out and roll it. And that's usually what I do. I've done it both ways. pinch the seam. It got really cloudy out, so it's dark in here. I'm sorry. And I can't find my one adapter to put a different, add some more light. Okay. Roll it, squish it. And I just sort of make sure it's even in there. And one loaf ready to go back in the oven for 30 to 40 minutes. Okay. Roll it to get that bottom combined, sealed. And put it in there, and I just sort of make sure it's going into the corners. And now I'm going to set my timer on 30 minutes. I can go back to drinking my coffee now. Still have some tomatoes. Don't know if I'm going to have enough to can. I got to go check my ones that were green. I wouldn't mind doing, I have frozen ones that I'm going to do tomato sauce and juice out of, or Minnesota mix. I haven't totally decided. But I do like this too. But I like the Minnesota mix, like for chili. Like for my chili I'm making, it's going to have those. And then I have chili base from Mrs. Wages, which is kind of spicy. So I can't use just that. It'd be too much for my husband. And I forgot to bring up a jar of corn because I want to put corn in it too. It's a common thing around here, and I don't always do it, but today I feel like corn in my chili. Got the bread out and the oven preheating. You want it to rise to just above the bread pan edge. So now, once my oven is preheated, to 350. Once the oven is preheated to 350, we will get that in the oven, and it takes, it doesn't take long, like 20, 25 minutes. Till it's nice and golden brown and it's hollow sounding. Chopping up stuff for the chili. I have celery that needs to be used, so my mom always added celery to hers, and so does Wendy's. But I'm not following the Wendy's recipe. I'm just winging it. Here's some green pepper. I don't add jalapenos to mine. We use cowboy candy, or I use cowboy candy when I go to eat it. Jim doesn't like things too spicy. Missy is watching me intently. I think I have one more pepper in the crisper from my veggie boxes. Then I'll have to use what's in the freezer. This day is weird because we got up so early. And I went downstairs and got my corn. still out looking for that deer, I guess. I haven't heard anything. Usually I would get a photo if they found it, so I don't know. That's not a good sign. Unless they're back at the neighbors having coffee and talking. I'm gonna put these loaves in. And I'm gonna set my timer to 20 minutes and then I'll start checking it. 21, it's on. I'm gonna preheat this pan. I'm gonna brown my meat in that. And then brown the I'll saute the veggies. I need to get my crock pot out. I'm gonna start browning my meat. This is, I might as well add those onions. This is venison sausage that I made. I'll use a pound of this and a pound of venison just to give it a little different flavor. And I'm gonna start opening up cans and jars. First is gonna be some pinto beans. I am gonna drain this liquid off. I'm not gonna rinse them. Because I don't feel like it. My mom never did. She would put all the liquid in. But I put it all in. Let's see. Can of corn. It's just one of those days that I thought it would be nice to have dinner ready whenever, because our schedule is so weird with waking up early. And I don't know, I thought about doing a canning project, but I didn't feel like doing that. I need to make applesauce yet. And then I just thought, all those onions that I have, because I have more, I only have 1 jar of balsamic onion jam left. So I should make that. Drain this corn. Here's my corn. Come on. That was a tight seal. This is the first jar I've opened up. And last year, it had a burnt taste. It was a different corn though. And I had done this farm's corn before, so this tastes good. It's nice and crunchy and good. There's that. Tomatoes. I have some canned diced tomatoes too in the store-bought ones. I might need to use one of those. And these tomatoes really break down as it cooks. My husband prefers really thick chili, not so soupy. So, get this meat ground and put it in, and then do the veggies and the other meat. Okay, chili base. Spicy. And I have more of that downstairs if I think it needs more. And let's see, kidney beans. I like kidney beans in mine. That's what I grew up on. Some people don't like them, but I like kidney beans. That's squeaky. Sorry. I'm gonna drain this. And I'll move you up here. That actually tastes really good. Give the chili base. Chili base when I added in everything else, if not too spicy. I'm gonna move this a little closer. And I'm going to use a slotted spoon to get that meat over. I'm going to add some salt, some pepper. This isn't seasoned like the sausage was, and the sausage has a little bit of a bite to it, which is nice. Add some more oil, because my like olive oil, my venison is just venison. This Sunday at church, we're doing a pastor appreciation dinner. Hope that's not too loud. And I am making minestrone soup. There was like a list of soups that are favorites, and no one had signed up for minestrone. I thought, oh, I can make that. And then they're having salads and sandwich fixing, so I'm taking a loaf of bread. And it should be a fun time of fellowship and appreciation of our pastors and all they do. This is almost brown. Then I'm going to saute the onions and peppers and celery a little bit. I want to make sure they're tender and not too crunchy. You don't have to do that, but I like doing it. So I have not made minestrone in years. I don't know why, but I haven't. So, you know, kidney beans, the cannelli beans, celery, onion, carrots, spinach, broth, and tomatoes, and garlic, and zucchini, green beans. Do you put those in yours if you make it? And then serve it with Parmesan cheese. So it's, and then, you know, the Italian seasonings and all that stuff. You know, it's basically an Italian vegetarian soup with your beans being the protein. Back in the day when I was first selling advertising and I had to go to Saginaw for my territory, I had some accounts there and I would set a goal. And if I hit this, I don't know if it was like $2,000 sold in a day or $3,000. This is back the late 80s. Then I would reward myself with lunch at Olive Garden, the all-you-can-eat soup, sandwich, and breadsticks. And I always liked their minestrone, and I liked their pasta fagioli, and I liked all their soups. They didn't have the gnocchi one back then, I don't think, but they do now. Anyway, I wanted to make sure that all the soups were covered and no one had picked minestrone. So, wish me luck. Let's hope it turns out. Move the venison over. Oh, and pasta. It has to have a little pasta. Like I have some mini shells. Forgot the pasta. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of butter in this pan. I don't feel like grabbing the oil down. And add in green pepper, celery, onion. What? He's fine. Veggies now. If you tap, hollow sound. Salt, pepper, garlic, chili powder. I'm going to add a pinch of cinnamon, just a little bit, like a quarter teaspoon. It gives such great flavor. It's just a nice warm undertone without adding heat. Next, Mexican oregano and cumin, of course. I take the bread out of the pans after 5 minutes and brush butter on top to make a nice soft crust. And the chili is going to be on to cook. There should be more liquid that comes out, so it won't be quite so thick. If I need to add anything, I can add some chili base. Jim's back. They didn't find the deer. Missy's drinking water loudly. I'm scrambling him some eggs. I told you he'd want scrambled. And the bread is cooling off. You're not supposed to cut bread until it's cooled. I know warm bread's great, but unless you're going to eat the whole loaf, don't do it, because what's left is dried out. The chili is cooking, so dinner will be ready. And this afternoon I can rest. I'm going to do some sewing. I might have to run to the library. Are you done, Missy? But I want to thank everyone for joining me for my morning. I'll try and post a picture of the chili when it's done, maybe on the community tab, because I just thought I would share my morning with you. And let's see what time. It's just after 11, and we've been up since before 5. I think there might be a nap for me this afternoon. So thank you for joining me. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time at Pike Creek Farm.